friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting my May flashback reading vlog. Again, this is a 12-part series that I am posting in December of 2020, so the month that you're watching this. And these are reading vlogs that I have done every single month of 2020. So I did one in January and I did one in February. I did one in March and April, and now we are here in May. So I just thought it would be a fun way to kind of flash back to what I was reading throughout 2020 and share that with you guys. That way that maybe when I make my best and worst of 2020 list for you guys at the end of the month, maybe some of these books will show up on that list. My goal for this reading vlog is to read The Perfect Wife by J.P. Delaney. It is 409 pages. It is a speculative fiction mixed with thriller vibes. I did read the first chapter of this in my Try a Chapter Thriller Edition video, and I was just really intrigued from the first chapter. It was a little like descriptive, like over descriptive, and it was like going okay. But then that last line happened and I was just like mind blown. So what happens in the first chapter is Abby wakes up in a hospital room, dazed and confused of what's going on. She believes there's been an accident, and initially I thought like, okay, it's gonna be an amnesia story, or it's gonna be like there's been a terrible accident, what caused it, and stuff like that. But no, something I need to tell you, my love, he says, taking your hand in his, something very difficult, but you need to know right away. It wasn't a dream, it was an upload. So I was just like, wow, what does that even mean? I was totally in the mood for this, and I put it on my May TBR. And this month I'm also doing Read-A-Rama, and I'm also doing the Asian Readathon, but I wanted to jump into another thriller because I've just been really in a thriller mood. It is extremely windy here today, but I need to show you my peonies because they're so gorgeous. Look at this one. You see? And they smell so good. I already have a theory. I just started chapter 3, which is page 10. So I've only read 9 pages and I already have a theory. So she is this cobort, which is basically like a robot, artificial intelligence. And so she died 5 years ago, and he has been working tirelessly to make this a thing. They kind of explained it, like what it exactly was, but I'm wondering, okay, so how did she die? She died 5 years ago, and he's been working to have her back ever since, even though it's not like really her, it's like a version of her. And she feels like she's real, and she says she looks like herself, but he like ripped the rubber mask or apparatus off of her, sorry about all the noise in the background, to show her that like she was just like a machine or whatever. And then he says like, let's go home, and she's like, where's home? I can't remember. Then thunk, a memory drops into place, Dolores Street in central San Francisco. And then he says, I never moved. I wanted to stay where you'd been, where we'd been so happy. So I'm thinking what it's gonna be is that he was actually the one that killed her, and now he's bringing her back. So it can like play up the ruse that like he didn't kill her and he was grieving his wife this whole time. So yeah, I think he is the one responsible for killing her. About to jump back in. It is a little bit later in the evening now. I did read for a little while outside. I read 55 pages and I shared some theories with you guys. I did manage to get a little sun going on, so I'm happy because of vitamin D, baby. But okay, so to support my theory, I wanted to share a couple of things that I was highlighting earlier. Okay, so on page 32, it says, as if you're a child, he limits your time online and vets the sites you visit. Oh, let me remind you of my theory. So my theory is that she died because of him. Like, he killed her, and then he's brought her back. As you know, maybe he's able to kind of make her better. Oh, Charlie came to visit. Come here, Charlie. All right, I'll put her in this chair. Okay. So that was my theory. My theory was that he killed her, and now he's brought her back as this like artificial intelligence thing, whatever, it's cobort or whatever. So that's one thing. He's limiting her exposure to like the outside, to the internet. And like I said, on page 32 it said that, and then on page 33 it says he still won't talk about the circumstances of your death. The closest he comes is a brief reference to the accident before clamming up. And then later on down the page down here it says sometimes he just sits and stares at you, drinking you in as if he can't quite believe he's actually done it. And then a couple pages later on page 37 over here, there's this whole talk about I guess he went out and he bought her some paints because she used to paint and stuff. So he got her some paints, and then he ordered gym equipment, and then he ordered an Olympic-sized trampoline, and then she says, we should go to Fort Point again, you say, now suddenly nostalgic for that time. I loved that date. Tim hesitates. That's a good idea, but not just yet. Why not? Going outside might be difficult right now. You look at him puzzled. You mean I can't leave the house? Soon, yes, he says quickly. We just need to ... prepare you. That's all. So I'm like, And then a little bit later on page 47 right here, it talks about, oh yeah, so her husband is planning to stay with her for 3 weeks at home, like to help her adjust. And he gets a like call that he needs to go into work and stuff like that. And when he goes, she starts going through this bookcase because she's been like reading all the books, and she's like, oh, let me go through this bookcase and stuff. And she goes through it. She finds well, actually he gives her like her phone or something like that, and then she ends up finding like a mini iPad and all of this. But anyway, she looks it up. You're about to put the phone down when you spot the Safari icon on the menu bar. You tap it and a search engine appears, the box blank and inviting. Now before, remember, he was saying like, don't go online. And she goes, at last. Quickly you type in Abby Cullen Scott, San Francisco, death accident, how. Agonizing moment while it searches, and then page blocked. And then a little bit later, she's kind of saying, oh, you know, maybe he blocked it because of whatever. Because he loves you, you tell yourself. And then you guess the temptation would be too great. It's a sign of how well he knows you. He's protecting you from the pain. And then later, and nicer still if my husband had trusted me in the first place. And I think that's all that I marked so far. So I think those things are really pointing to my theory. Lately, I have been guessing a lot of twists in thriller books. And while that doesn't bother me per se, I just really hope it's done well. That's always the goal. Like, shock me somehow, let it be good, let me be invested, and so far I am. So that's a good sign. But I'm about to go back in my bedroom and read a little bit more, just chill out, maybe read like another 50 pages or so. And yeah, I'll just update you guys more as time continues. But I don't really want to talk about that theory anymore because I want you, like, if you haven't read it and you want to read it after, you know, this vlog, I don't want to spoil anything, but I just want to share you like early theories and like things that are making me think that. So anyway, I will share more general thoughts as I continue on now that I am past the 50-page mark. But I got some salsa because I want to have some chips and salsa. So I got this salsa yesterday, and these chips, the On the Border cafe style, so good. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday. I was just, come on, Charlie. I was just going to pop outside really quickly and see how the weather is. Much cooler than yesterday, but still really nice outside. It is nice just to come outside and get some fresh air. My husband did have to go into work today. I'm gonna set you up right here. Whoop. My husband did have to go. I'm looking at my peonies. They look great. My husband did have to go into work today. Is the lighting okay? Let me adjust it. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? Kind of, not really, but my husband did have to go into work today, so that's unfortunate. I don't know what to do about Mother's Day, you guys. I'm really nervous about going to see my mother-in-law because she's 86, and it's like, on one hand, she's 86. I need to go spend Mother's Day with her. And on the other hand, it's like, she's 86. Coronavirus. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know my husband really wants to go see her. And I'm trying to get into, like, maybe we could just hang out in her backyard and, like, not have any physical contact. I don't know. My parents are in Maryland, so I'm not going to drive 4.5 hours to see them. I never see them on, like, Mother's Day, Father's Day usually, so not a big deal. But for his mom, and it's just his mom, his dad passed not last November, but the November before that. So yeah, I'm really worried about going to see her. But anyway, I'm here to give you a reading update. Yeah, so I was reading this yesterday. I read about 50 pages, and then I went inside, and then I read about 50 more pages, and then I took a long break, and then I read about 40 pages. So I'm on page 142. So I've read this much and I have this much to go. It's 409 pages, so still quite a while to go. But I am enjoying it. It's always keeping me intrigued. Something I feel like it is interesting how it's told, like how it's written and stuff, because you have the kind of before chapters, even though it never tells you like before and now. The chapter, there's some chapters that are spelled out, like the actual number word is spelled out, and then you have some chapters that just have the number. So here is just a chapter, like the very first chapter with the number, and then I think it goes 1, 2, yeah, it goes like 1 and then 2 and then 3, and then you have 1. And the numbered chapters, like the 1, 2, like the ones at the very beginning, are kind of like the current day chapters. And the numbered chapters, like the number word chapters, are from the past. So you're kind of getting to see the before, that she wakes up in the hospital and he's like, oh, this was an upload type thing. And now you're getting to see like current day. And I shared my theories last night, and all I'll say about that is that there's been more that has been like, I'm right, and then there's been things trying to prove me wrong. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So I'm definitely going to be reading some more of this today. Not right now. I just took a shower. That's why my hair is up and it's like totally wet, and I'm trying to let my face relax a little bit because I've been stressed out. So it's been breaking out and hormonal and, you know, all this stuff. So I'm trying to let my skin relax today. So I just, you know, did some mascara and leaving the face bare. Put my face serum on, let it breathe. It is much chill. Yesterday I did get some sun, but I don't think that's going to be happening today. Not that the sun's not out, because it is a big, bright, blue, beautiful day. However, the wind is blowing a little bit. It's like a gentle breeze. And it's just chilly. I don't know what the temperature is. I don't have that set up on my watch. Okay, I forgot I kind of need to do this now because in 24 hours, so you basically have to check it at the same time every day. And this, like, it's 8:18 right now. So by the time I get it together, it'll be like 8:30 or something, I'm thinking. Okay, problem number one is you need to do a towel. You can do like cling wrap, but like a towel, I think. And then I don't have a rubber band, so I'm gonna use this headlamp. I was seeing if this would secure over it because I tried my hair rubber band and it's not big enough. Yeah, this works. Look, haha. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna secure it. I mean, you gotta be resourceful now. So I wish I knew where my kitchen scale was, but I can't find it. I did look. Okay, so day number 1, you make the initial starter. So it's 4 ounces of all-purpose flour, which is 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons. Got my water, got some measuring cups. Okay, weigh the flour and the water and combine them in this. Stir until combined into a smooth batter. It will look like a sticky, thick dough. Scrape down the sides and loosely cover the container with plastic wrap or a clean kitchen towel secured with a rubber band. Place the container somewhere with a consistent room temperature of 70 to 75, like the top of the refrigerator, and let it sit for 24 hours. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Hello, hello. I am finally going to sit down in bed and read some more. I held my first ever Animal Crossing yard sale. Basically, it was a whole bunch of items that I wanted to like rehome. I had duplicates of, or I didn't really want them. And I just threw them down on the beach and people could come pick up and take home whatever they wanted. And that was a lot of fun. And now, oh, I did do the sourdough stuff. So that's sitting on top of the refrigerator. My husband came home for lunch and he was like, you made something on top of the refrigerator. And I was like, oh, that's the sourdough. So he's just as excited as I am about it. Hello, friends. I'm here with an update. I have been posting this morning on Instagram about asking people what they're reading. I did a reading sprint. It was just like a spontaneous 10-minute reading sprint. Yeah, what else have I talked about? Let's see. Oh, I was asking, oh, I had my island open. I was telling people about that. I told people about the Thriller live show on Gabby's channel. I asked what people are currently reading and a lot of people responded to that. I talked about my island being open for my yard sale. That was a couple of slides. I posted my wish list for my Animal Crossing island. Oh, I addressed the new Twilight release. I've never read the books. But I've seen all the movies, and of course I didn't read the gender bent version, but I'm interested in the new book and I was wondering, should I just buy the book and read it? I haven't posted any new pictures in a while just because I don't know, I'm not finding the motivation to do that. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in interacting with my friends in different ways than just posting some pictures. I'm currently gonna take a break from reading. I did read a good chunk. I don't remember what I said, what page I was on, but I feel like I was like in the 140s, like 142 or something like that. Let's see if I can find where I was. I think I was on page like 142 and I'm on 199 now. So I am on, it's like I said, it has the dual chapters. So I'm on 14, the word chapter, like the number word 14. So yeah, it's come a long way. A lot of stuff has happened. It's definitely getting interesting. I'm wondering where it's gonna go from here. I'm 48% because I'm on 199 and it's a 409 page book. She's just waiting for Daddy to get home, aren't you, girl? Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. I am eating breakfast and about to read. I have my little just crack an egg cup over here, some English muffins here, and I just read my husband the first chapter of The Perfect Wife because he was trying to guess like the synopsis, and I was like, no, you'll never guess what it is. So I read him the first chapter, and when I read him that last little paragraph, he was like, you know, because it's so jarring, but so good. I read so much yesterday. I am currently on page 323, so I have less than 100 pages to go. I went on a little morning walk and talked to my friends on Marco Polo. Now I'm eating my breakfast. I have cinnamon rolls in the oven, but I'm gonna sit here and finish the rest of this book, I think, because I just need to know what's happening. Friends, it's still pretty chilly, but it's nice and sunny, and I wanted to do my final check-in of reading The Perfect Wife. I just finished it, and wow, what a mind F. This was unlike anything I've ever read, and I was trying to think, like, which of my friends could I recommend this to? Which type of reader could I recommend this to? And I would say if you like sci-fi futuristic thrillers, you might really like this, but if you need things to make sense and understand things all of the time, then you probably won't like this. The ending was crazy, and I think that I said before, like, how, sorry, the neighbor's dog is barking their head off. We're gonna work through this though. I think I said before of my theories, and it did a really good job of leading me to believe one thing, then leading me to believe, okay, I'm totally wrong, leading me to fall into the trap of, hey, maybe I'm right after all. It was just so weird, and so much happened, and like both parts of the timeline were interesting, and it was a good page turner. Like, I just wanted, I mean, I read this so fast, you guys. I would read like 50 pages like that. It was so good. But it's not a 5 stars still. And I talked about this with my friends. I was saying, like, it's more of a 4 stars to me because it was really, really good. Like, the story was unique. I liked the characters. I liked the plot. I liked the pacing. I liked the writing. I really liked everything about it, but it just wasn't a 5. And what made it not a 5, I don't know. Maybe, I guess when you read a 5, you just know it's gonna be a 5. And the ending was crazy. Like, I was worried. I was like, they're gonna ruin it at the end, and they didn't. But it's just so crazy. I can't even, I don't think I'll be able to stop thinking about this. This is a book, like, okay, so the very end, the last 2 chapters really left me reeling. There was the, I guess it was the chapter 26 at like the very end, because it was 409 pages and it started at 404 and went to 406. Those 3 pages, well, it's actually like 2 pages and a little bit. I was like, what's happening? And I actually had to look up like the ending of The Perfect Wife explained, and like that is what I got out of it, but not like part of it. So I even tried like rereading it a little bit, and I'm like, what? And then the very ending chapter was just like, I don't even know what to think about that. Like, the ending was definitely unexpected, different than anything I've ever read, strange and crazy. One thing that I did like in this story is that their son, Abby and Tim's son, was autistic. He had CDD. I forget exactly what that stands for, but I remember that's the acronym. I think it said it like several times. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. But yeah, so he's autistic, and he's a large part of the story. So I just thought that was very interesting, and it felt very realistic from the standpoint of, I'm a teacher and I've taught autistic kids before. Not in a special ed class though, just like in a general ed setting. And then the in the acknowledgments part in the very back, the writer says that, as I write this, I've just been shaving my 21-year-old son. He has quite tough stubble, so this is a process that involves first an electric shaver, then a 4-blade wet razor, then a 2-blade disposable razor to reach any stubborn hairs. So basically his son, I think, has, you know, what the son in the story does, and it talks a lot about ABA and the intense rote teaching of skills to those with autism. And he talks about that they used ABA techniques with Ollie for 15 years, like his son. And then it also talks about kind of some of the other treatments used in the book or talked about in the book, how that has related to his personal life. So that was very cool. I also thought it was very interesting to note at the very end part of the acknowledgments, he says, many people helped me with the writing of The Perfect Wife. In particular, I want to thank Tyler Mitchell both for having the original idea and for his great generosity in sharing it with me. So this wasn't even the author's original idea. Look at the wind blowing my hair. So that was interesting. It was almost like someone else's idea, and he said, hey, can I write that? And his friend was like, sure. I don't know how to feel about that, but yeah, I really enjoyed the story. I just don't think that this type of story is going to appeal to like a mass audience, and I could definitely see myself enjoying this type of thriller in the future. Futuristic. Anyway, yeah, so that wraps up this May reading vlog flashback. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of The Perfect Wife if you've read it, or if you're interested because of this vlog. I asked some of my friends and they had read The Girl before, and they said it was okay. Like, most of them rated it like a 3-star. But yeah, this one was really good. Like, I could see myself easily giving it 5 stars. I just wasn't like connected to it. Maybe because it was so futuristic in that way, but it was really good, you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're having a lovely day or night. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye!